All right, Lurch's 2024 Road Glide on the lift behind me. In today's video, we're going to be installing a Vance Hines VO2 Stage 1 Air Intake. Now, we're going to show you how to do that, so if you want to skip ahead in the video and just see that, well, go for it. But I'm going to tell you a couple things that you might want to know before you get started with that. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Urlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. I always thank you. That's right, you, for checking back in. All right, so on Lurch's bike behind me, we're going to be installing a VO2X in Khrome on my 24 Street Glide. Some time ago, we did the VO2X Black Contrast. There are a bunch of different models of the VO2 and different finishes, and everything you see in this video I will link to in the description below. It's available right in the Law Abiding Biker store. So a couple things you need to know when installing a Stage 1 air intake. Obviously, the benefits are you're opening the bike up, you're allowing it to properly breathe, thus it's going to give you more torque and horsepower. Not just Harley, but all bikes are really bogged down by the manufacturers due to regulations when they release them off the line. But have no fear, this air intake is 50 state compliant. All right, also understand that when you install a high flow intake like this, you're gonna have to remap your EFI. And I'll put a link in the description below to the Vance Hines Fuelpak 4. And we have a video showing you how to tune with the FP3, that was the prior model. At the time of recording of this video, Vance Hines has not cracked the ECM on the 24 and newer models with the newly redesigned fairing. But you can check the link and see if it is available. And we also have out of stock notifications in the Law Abiding Biker store. You can sign up for that so you know when they're in stock. But you're not out of luck if the FP4 isn't yet available, because you could just go to your dealership and have them install a canned map, which will retune the EFI. Also, if you want to go a step above that, you can get the Harley-Davidson Screamin' Eagle tuner. It's not my favorite tuner, a little bit clunky and buggy, but you should be able to get your bike tuned with that. And the reason we carry Vance Hines products, not only air intakes, you'd want to pair it up obviously with some exhaust at some point, which is also going to increase your torque and horsepower and just make your bike run better all the way around. But it's just great quality stuff. We've carried it for years in the Law Abiding Biker store, and certainly we use it on our bikes. And certainly we've got options in the Law Abiding Biker store. You could pair that high flow intake with other Vance Hines exhaust, or like Lurch, he actually did Khrome Werks. Again, links to everything in the description below. And last but not least, just look at this thing. The VO2 is just a sexy looking air intake regardless of which exact design you get. All right, enough talk, let's get wrenching. All right, we're gonna get this less than visually pleasing stock air intake. That's a 3/16 hex head T-handle. Main bolt in the center there that he's gonna back out. From there, he'll remove that cover. He's gonna take the stock air filter out here, and you just twist and pull rearward to break that guy free. Inside the air box here are two bolts, one up there, one there. Those are 9/16. He's gonna go ahead and start backing these guys out of there. One down there, and he'll move on to the other one up in there. You've got a few more bolts up in here, and you'll see one right there, that guy, and then one right there. Those are Torx T27s, and then snuck up there right below the tank, you can see it up in there, is another Torx T27, and that's what he's going to be working on. All right, so he's going to start removing those. Again, Torx T27, you can see he's got his handy Superfire TH04S flashlight. He's got it in the headlamp configuration so that he can see up in there. Very handy, very affordable flashlight. We sell the heck out of them in the Law Abiding Biker store. And guys, go look at all the reviews on these things. Guys just absolutely love them. But it's also got a swivel head. It comes with the clip. You can swivel that head back and forth to get the direction you need. It's got a clip on it for your shirt or bill of your hat or whatever. It's got a magnetic bottom there, so you can literally stick it on things. Again, very affordable, very high quality. Rechargeable USB-C port, comes with the charging cable, all different kinds of modes. It's just a aircraft grade aluminum it's made out of, very durable. We drop them all the time. We have like 3 or 4 of them sitting around the shop here. But again, you can put it in that headlamp configuration, which is really nice. Be careful of all the knockoffs online. You're going to go try to search for it, and you're going to get ripped off probably. There's a lot of knockoffs, and we're one of the only ones with the actual TH04S model, which has all the bells and whistles. And if you get it from the Law Abiding Biker store, you'll know you're getting the right one. Link in the description below. All right, he's getting that last Torx 27 bolt out of there. That's going to release the airbox here. However, there's a hose. It's your crank breather hose on the top there. And we're going to be using our beloved Motion Pro hose removal tool. Very handy because those hoses get baked on there from the engine heat, and this just makes it super simple. Available in the Law Abiding Biker store, and I'll link to it in the description below. All right, from there, you're just going to use that hose removal tool and kind of pry up underneath there and break the seal. These are also good for radiator hoses and all kinds of stuff. And now that he's got the seal broke all the way around, he can go ahead and just remove the airbox from the hose there. All right, so he's got the items out that come in your kit for installation, and he's going to put blue Loctite on all 3 bolts. All right, so in his hand he has the breather adapter, comes with your air intake. Make sure you get this on the right way. You'll see on the inside there's a little lip that's going to go inside your throttle body there, your intake. And that does swivel up top for your crank breather hose, so he'll get that in position. And then he'll go ahead and go up, grab his crank breather hose, and get that put over the nipple there. Now he's going to come up with his gasket. You'll notice at the bottom of that, you'll have 2 of these in your kit. We're just going to use one here. There's an arc at the bottom. That's going to correspond where he's pointing and go over that little guy there. So make sure that's positioned correctly. And he'll keep one hand on it, kind of lined up there. He'll put that over and make sure that his holes are looking lined up there. And then he's going to start with his fingers, his 3 bolts there that we put blue Loctite on. One goes up top there. You'll see where he put that one. Move around to the right side here and get this guy started. Looks like I got that one there, finger started. And moving around to the other side, you've got one more right there. All right, you've got 3 fingers started now. The one up top there is pretty easy to get with a T-handle. This guy on this side and this guy on this side are a little more difficult to get at. That's because the lip of the intake adapter here. So you'll probably end up, that's what we're going to use, something like this. And you kind of got to get in there with the L1, and you kind of got to be at an angle. Just make sure, obviously, you're not cross-threading those, and work those into place. So he's starting with the top one there, and he's just going to barely seat that. We'll tighten everything later. You want this to go down even, and he'll start working on the other 2, like we told you, with a slimmer L handle style hex wrench there. And these do call for 96 inch-pounds for the torque spec, but good luck getting any type of torque wrench in there. So we're just going to snug them down nice and tight. If you do have something, then certainly go for it. And Lurch says that is 96. Perfect. All right, you got 3 more bolts here. Again, apply your blue Loctite to them before we put that next piece on. So we've got the second gasket that comes in your kit. It also has a arc cut out of the bottom, but for this application, it doesn't matter. There's nothing to go around. So I'll just line the holes up there, and he'll go ahead and go in with that first bolt of 3 that we just put blue Loctite on, and he'll go in with the other. And the last one, he's just getting finger started. And with a 7/16, he'll go around and just thread these in halfway. All right, while Lurch is getting those threaded in halfway, if you appreciate this video and all the videos we put out to help as many bikers as we can worldwide, you can support us by shopping right in the Law Abiding Biker store. We're just a bootstrap company of bikers trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. We appreciate every customer. We will definitely take care of you. You see, we're not like the big corporate online stores. We're actually testing and using and installing the stuff we carry in our store. Remember, there are savings to be had, such as no tax if you're not a Washington State resident, and free shipping over $100. Again, link to these intakes and the tools we mentioned in the description below. All right, he's got all his parts laid out here that come in your kit. He's going to take the main filter cover there that goes on the outside. He'll lay that over the top of the filter. Then I'll take the whole assembly there and put it on to the backing plate here. And I'll go ahead and turn the backing plate kind of so you can see how that is and how he situated that filter on there. So your kit comes with 4 of these spacers. You'll see this side is smaller than this side. This smaller side goes to the front here, all right? And the fatter side goes to the rear there. So we'll situate all 4 of those the same. And you can see he's fitting that one in there. And then you've got 4 of these bolts, and he'll just slide that through the spacer and line everything up. And then 4 nuts come with it that go on the back side there, so he'll get that started on that long bolt he slid through there. And he's just going around. Again, there's 4 of these, and you're going to set all 4 of them up the same exact way. And you can see he's having to pinch and give a little pressure to get that bolt to stick out the end there to get that nut on there. Okay, so remember these right here, we only threaded in halfway. The reason is corresponding on the back plate are these guys here. And of course, we're going to fit the bolt heads through, and then it'll be just a little bit of a turn to go into those cutouts. So it'll be secured on there. And so that's what he's going to do. He's going to line everything up. We have not tightened these guys yet. We can do that at the very end. That's how you get your filter on and off for maintenance anyways. But you can see just getting it lined up there and then a little turn. And while we're talking about the filter, the nice thing about these is they're not, you know, the messy oil bath type filters. These are dry, and you can simply rinse them with soap and water, let them dry out, and put it back on for future maintenance. And although we're not done, we got to finish, but just look at the difference. Such a very sexy look, regardless if you want black contrast or chrome, but it just really opens it up so you can see, you know, the components, and definitely adds a lot of style from in comparison, I should say, to the stock one. Next in your kit comes 2 flange bolts and just some blue Loctite on those. And the first flange bolt goes right in the back there, and moving in with his other flange bolt on the other side here. And I'll take a 3/8 12-point box end wrench here, ratchet wrench, and start seating this down. And moving around to the other side, he will get this one seated down here. And just so you guys know, Vance Hines has been really trickling these different designed air filters out for some time for the 24 and newer models. Of course, they're available for past models, but with that said, getting them to resellers like us has been a little bit slow, so they do come in and out of stock for everybody. So if you see one in stock, I'd grab it. And for whatever reason it's out of stock, we do have back in stock notifications. You can get texts or emails at the Law Abiding Biker store, so you know when it comes back in. It is hit and miss right now. And he's going to snug these down. If you can, for whatever reason, have a small torque wrench to get in there, 120 to 144 inch-pounds. But they do have blue Loctite, and they'll be just fine. Just get them good and snug. That's what he's doing. So remember the 3 bolts where we put the back plate onto and quarter turn? Those were only threaded in halfway. And so now you just got to get behind here with a 7/16 wrench, and you got to snug these guys down. There's 3 of them. And those are 55 to 60 inch-pounds if you can get your wrench in behind there, but we're just going to get them snug down. So as you can see, it's just a little bit tedious, but you can get your wrench on these guys, and you just have to do the slow process of getting it on there and making your turns till they're snug down. And Lurch is having a good day. He's being nice and patient, and he's not going to do any wrench throwing today.
Not today.
If you're wondering about that light, this is one of our beloved Flexi 6.5 lights. Also, I'll link to it in the description below, but very handy for stuff like this. Kind of flexes where you need it to be. And so remember these right here, guys, we didn't tighten these down. There's 4 of them. When we put up there, we just finger started them. So we're going to go ahead and snug them down now. And on the front, it's a 12.5/16 socket. And on the rear will be a 7/16 wrench. And so he's just going on the back side there, of course, with his box end wrench, and then that socket on the front, and just snug. These don't have a torque value, but you don't want to over tighten them. And he'll just work his way around and get all 4 of those done. All right, there you go. One Vance Hines VO2X air intake here, and then we will definitely be mapping the EFI. And again, lots of different colors and finishes to choose from, and we also have them for pre-24 models.
Lock in, lights, camera, action, telly, SPN, it's a top thing. Lock in, lights, camera, action, I don't fold a band when it's time to win. Trolling cause we're rolling under lights, we don't get anxious. Do it with a purpose, we don't do it to be famous. Really, they